Hello there, my name is Moomin Littlesocks, and welcome to my brand new series, Little Treasure Cove. Now you might be thinking, the name sounds extremely similar to Little Rock Ridge. Well, aren't you astute? Little Rock Ridge was a collab park featuring some of the biggest names in the Planet Coaster community. The twist was, none of our creators were allowed to use any DLC or TMTK items, at all. If you somehow missed that entire series, click the card in the top right now. It's really good. It features people like Nerd Chacho, Wix, and even the Planet Zoo legend that is Paulsley. Now you might be asking, that's all well and good, but why on earth are you talking about it now, you ninny hammer? Good question, viewer, because this is the long-awaited sequel. That's right, we're going to do it all over again with brand new guests. So, what's the park? Well, that's where it gets even more interesting. Ever wondered what it would be like for an entire park to do a retheme? Well, wonder no more as we strip out Little Rock Ridge, throw out all of the Wild West paraphernalia, turning our Western Park into a pirate park. The layout will remain exactly the same, but our lovely little mini park will be almost unrecognisable once we're done with it. Before we do anything within the park, we have to take a step out of the park. What's the point in doing a retheme if no one knows it's happening? What better way to grab the attention of passing civilians than whacking a shiny new sign out front? This was created by the king of signs himself, Ches. He not only made the sign but came up with the name for the park, so thanks Ches. It's with an extremely heavy heart that it's time to say goodbye to Christine's beautiful airship, along with the incredible aeronaut skin. In its place will be the Rocktopus, and with that it's time for our first guest. What better way to kick off a Planet Coaster collab park than with the founder of a Planet Coaster community? Xypoqu is the founder and mastermind behind Planet X, a Planko Discord server where each person is put into a guild based on their strengths as a builder. Each one has incredibly in-depth lore, and members of said guilds compete in regular contests. Xypoqu herself was the creator of such masterpieces as Vantique, Tree of the Stars, and Hard Rock Nights, which got her first place in her bracket within the Channel 5 mini-park contest. Here she is to present her stunning build, Treasure Tavern.
Hi everyone, it's me, Xypoqu, or Zeep, or I don't know how you want to call me. I got this message from Moomin, and he asked me to participate in his park to build something without DLCs or TMTK, and I was like, at first, me? You want to have me in your park? That's crazy. Am I that special? No, I'm not. So he gave me the challenge to build a pirate-themed skin ride for his park, and I said, okay, I will do that. And after I was trying some things, like I messaged him and I was like, oh my god, I cannot do this. The place is too small. It's not working for me, and I had so many stress because of it, because I didn't want to disappoint him. I wanted to create something really cool. So we decided that I went to another place where I could live my pirate's dream. I decided to create this little tavern with the ride in the building. And it's a good place where the pirates girls and the pirate boys could hang out and have a good time there. So it's made out of, like, the ideas, like the building is made out of scrap pieces, like pieces that came from the shore or that they found, or maybe they stole something and then they made this whole building on an island near the mountains. And something that was really important for me is that I created this little plaza in front of it, so that maybe the parents could leave their kids for a minute, because the queue is very short. You can still have your eyes on them, but you could, like, sit there enjoying the sun, or maybe the nice environment. So yes, and the whole challenge was so fun to do, because it's making you do things you maybe never do. I was creating these fences with the poles, like the wooden poles, and they were all so messy and they were going everywhere, but the whole idea of it was so cool, and I really enjoyed doing it. So yeah, I really recommend doing everyone a challenge like this because it's giving you new ideas for your new park, or maybe, trying to do something else. I definitely saw myself struggling in the whole process because I couldn't use certain things I always do in my buildings, that makes something, a signature Xypoqu or a signature yoga. So it's really nice to do. I had such a good time. I really want to thank Moomin for inviting me, and have a good one, guys. Thank you.
Xypoqu had big boots to fill following Christine's creation, but boy did she deliver. What an absolutely beautiful build and a great way to kick off the series. Back over at the car park, it's time to retheme our park entrance, starting with the ticket office. Prior to recording, I'd already stripped off all of the western theming from Little Rock Ridge to imply most builds were simply clad. I used sandstone for the lower half and painted wood for the upper. I had a clear image of a boat crashing through the wall, much like you see the front of a Cadillac in an American diner. I used the rowboat and then art shapes to create the fake hull. With the basic theming done, it was already time to decorate. I gave the information kiosks custom awnings using pillars. Moving on to our admin offices, I used wood batten walls and shoved a nice pirate awning in front. As I hid the functioning park entrance by the spawn point, this one is just for aesthetics. I used the shipwreck bow as a basis and then created a canopy using pirate fencing, wooden columns and planks. I decided to recolour the planks various shades of red, similar to the shipwreck, and with that I went back over to the ticket offices and recoloured accordingly. I then used a technique you should have seen many times on the channel already, where I reskinned the shop interior to better match its surroundings. Ideally, everything would just be flexicolour in the game, but when that's not the case, you have to get creative. I soon remembered I was supposed to be working on the entrance, so I went back to mirror the side we'd already done. Time for some more scenery with the usual pirate/nautical theming. Much like me, the shipwreck is flawless, so I gave it a floor, although having no floor is probably the flaw that led to the wreck. I added a speaker with a cable and then decided to stop the time lapse so you can join me in picking a lovely little ditty to play to our arriving guests. Well, with that excitement over, it's back to the time-lapse. I put a lookout on top of the ship, but something tells me he's not very good at his job. Moving over to the existing lake from Little Rock Ridge, it was time to turn it into a tiny desert island. I added a poor little sinking boat before adding a whole heap of foliage around the edge. Next, I created some rock work using, well, rocks. As I record this, episode 7 of Isle of Scorth just came out, in which I created a Bioshock themed ride. If you haven't seen it, here's a handy link. Gosh, I'm so helpful. Finally, I jogged on over to the back of the entrance building to reclad that in the same pieces as the front. And just like that, the first episode comes to an end. I know, tragic. You now have to wait a full week for episode 2, unless you become a gold or platinum supporter, in which case you can watch it right this second. But whatever you do, have a great week.